Assalamu alaikum. How are
Walaikum
you, Ahmed?
assalam. Fine, man.
Ahmed, our today's topic is covalent bonding.
Okay.
Uh, Today we will learn how the covalent bonds are formed. Basically, why atoms make bond with each other. Do you have any idea why atoms make bond with each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
why?
atoms make bond with each other to make new substances.
Okay, to make new substances. Okay, let's read the learning objective, then we will discuss it further. First, we will describe the formation of a covalent bond by the sharing of a pair of electrons in order to gain the electronic configuration of an inner gas. And later, when we will have quite an understanding of formation of covalent bonds, then we will practice drawing the dot and cross diagrams of different molecules with covalent bonding in it. Okay. For that purpose, I would like you to watch a video, and with the help of that video,
Okay.
we will discuss how the covalent bonds are formed. What is covalent bonding? Covalent bonding, co means sharing, sharing of electrons among the atoms. Which atoms? Your entire periodic table is generally categorized in two type of elements, metals and non-metals. Generally, covalent bonding happens in which type of elements? Non-metallic elements.
Okay.
Non-metallic elements make covalent bonds.
Bond.
And why do atoms make bond? Let's watch the video, and in between the video, I will pause it from time to time and I'll ask you the questions and then we will discuss. Let's start watching.
Okay.
Okay. So here we have an animated character that is Mr. Smart, and he is actually trying to look for the elements those can make covalent bond, and he will suggest them how to share the electrons and how to make the bonds. So it's quite interesting to watch the video and then understand the concept. Let's see what's happening on here. So what Mr. Smart is going to see here. Here, yes, Ahmed, what element is it? So that was
What?
just displayed.
Okay, ma'am. Once.
Wait.
Displayed once, ma'am.
Here is an element. Can you see
Yes,
this element?
carbon. Carbon. No, so sorry. It is Ne.
Ne is neon, and neon.
Neon.
And
Yes.
how many electrons it has in its outermost shell?
Ma'am, outermost shell,
Eight,
it has uh 8 electrons.
8 electrons. Excellent. It means it has a complete valence shell. It is a noble gas that belongs to group H. Noble gases, group 8. Oh, all of them, they do have their complete valence shell. And you know what? Rest of all the elements, they want to be like noble gases, right? They want to be like noble gases by completing their valence shell, by having 8 electrons in their outermost shell. For first 5 elements, the duplet rule is being followed, means 2 electrons in outermost shell. First 5 elements, they just try to have 2 electrons in their outermost shell. And rest of all the elements in the periodic table, they try to have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. That is why atoms make bond, right? Atoms make bond to do what? To attain stability and to achieve noble gas electronic configuration. So you
Okay.
see, Neon is so happy and contented. So Mr. Smart is asking, who are you? And Neon is introducing itself as a noble gas, Neon. And it has nothing to do with the rest of the world because it has a complete valence shell, a complete octet, and it is not interested to make bond with anything else.
Fine.
So now you can see it has 8 electrons in its valence shell. Let's see what is the next thing that we can learn from this video. Basically, there are many other atoms in the periodic table that can make bonds. Those which do not have their valence shells complete, like incomplete valence, like they have 7 electrons in their outermost shell, like they have 6 electrons in their outermost shell. Here we have an atom of fluorine, right? So
Fluorine.
fluorine, if you can count, how many electrons fluorine has in its outermost shell?
Ma'am,
Yes,
it has 7 electrons in
7
outermost shell.
electrons. So it belongs to which group?
So it belongs to group 7.
Group 7. Group number tells us about the number of valence electrons. We may relate them. If a group number is 7, it means it has 7 electrons in the valence shell. And if it has 7 electrons in the valence shell, you may say immediately by looking at the number of valence electron that this atom belongs to group 7, right? So
Yes.
this fluorine is basically offering neon to make a bond, but neon is not ready because it has a complete outermost shell, complete electrons, all 8 electrons in its valence shell. So now fluorine is thinking what to do. Fluorine found another fluorine atom and now they're going to make bond with each other. So let me pause the video. See how many electrons are on sharing.
2.
First of all, the number of electrons, those are less in the valence shell. Exactly the same number of electrons will be going on sharing. If one fluorine atom has one less electron in the outermost shell, obviously fluorine has 7 electrons. It needs one more electron. So it will put one of its electron on sharing and another fluorine atom will be sharing its one electron on bonding. So if you can see, here we have 2 electrons on sharing and both the atoms are enjoying their complete valence shell. And by doing this, both the atoms they have achieved noble gas electronic configuration. So they both got stability. What kind of stability? This kind of stability. Stability like a noble gas, like neon.
Okay.
They came together, they achieved noble gas electronic configuration by doing what? By sharing of electrons.
Electron.
By sharing how many electrons?
1 electron each.
A bit louder, Ahmed.
1 electron each.
1 electron each means a pair of electron. And
Yes,
when
sir.
there is one pair of electron on sharing, it
There are 2
means there is a single covalent bond, right? When there is one pair of electrons on sharing, there is a single
single covalent.
covalent bond.
Okay.
So now Mr. Smart will be looking for some other element to make bond. Let's see. Let's have another example. Oxygen. Ahmed, can you recall from your previous knowledge of periodic table to which group oxygen belongs?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, oxygen belongs to group 6.
Group 6. It means how many electrons it has in its valence shell?
It has 6 electrons.
6 electrons in valence shell. Excellent. Okay, so how many electrons it needs to complete its valence shell to achieve noble gas electronic configuration?
Ma'am, it needs 2 more.
It needs 2 electrons. It needs 2 electrons. What does it mean? It has to put how many electrons on sharing?
Ma'am, it has put 2 electrons in sharing.
Yes, the number of electrons it is deficient of in its outermost shell, same number of electrons it will put on sharing with another atom. So Mr. Smart is getting reduced with oxygen. So oxygen is singing and telling, I'm oxygen, I have 6 electrons in my valence shell and I need 2 electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons in its valence shell. It needs only 2 more electrons to complete its octet. So it is going to share 2 electrons with another oxygen atom. Let's see. What is happening? So oxygen was suggested to call out another oxygen atom and make bond with. So here comes another oxygen atom. Now they both are going to make bond. Let's see how they are going to make. Oh, wow. So the bond is being made. Oxygen molecule has been formed. So how many electrons are there on sharing altogether, Amal?
Ma'am, there are 4, so double covalent bonds.
Yes, it has shared 4 electrons. 4 electrons means 2 pairs. 2 pairs means double covalent bond. So you can see each one of them is enjoying 8 electrons in its outermost shell. They both have their shells, valence shells completed.
Okay.
They share 2 pairs of electron. There is a double covalent bond. So that's all about video. Let's get back to our
Alright.
whiteboard. Now we are going to use the whiteboard to draw how to draw the structures, and we will be learning okay. In the meanwhile, okay, Ahmed, would you please tell me nitrogen belongs to which group?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, nitrogen belongs to group. It belongs to group 5.
Group 5. Excellent. It means it needs how many electrons?
5.
5 electrons. Very good. So now we are going to draw few structures, dot and cross structures. We will have to follow few rules, right? I will be explaining you, telling you the rules to draw the dot and cross diagrams, right? First, we are going to start off from a very simple molecule, that is hydrogen molecule, right? Hydrogen. Here we need to draw a circle. There is one hydrogen atom, and here we have another hydrogen atom, right? They are going to be added together, sharing bond. So whenever you are showing covalent bonding, you have to draw valence shell electrons, and the valence electron, one will be represented with a dot, and electron of another atom will be represented with a cross on it. So let's see how to make a covalent bond among these two hydrogen atoms. So here is the one circle, and then you will draw another circle with an area overlapped like Venn diagram. We have to put the symbol here, and where to draw these electrons, those are to be on sharing here on this overlapped area. So each hydrogen atom is sharing 1 electron. That's how this hydrogen molecule will be formed, and we may write is like this. What type of bonding it is? It is a
Single covalent.
single, yes,
Covalent
very
bond.
good, covalent bond. Now we are going to draw another structure, that is chlorine molecule. Chlorine belongs to which group?
Ma'am, chlorine. Chlorine belongs to. Yes, I remember. Yes, ma'am. It belongs to group 7.
Yes, very good. Group 7. How many electrons it has in its valence shell? Because we have to draw valence shell only.
Ma'am, in its valence shell, it has 1 electron. Sorry,
It
2.
belongs to group 7, right? And the group number tells you?
Okay, yes, it has 7 electrons.
Yes, exactly. So we are going to draw 7 dots in its outermost shell. So this color is just being used here. In your exam, you will be using one single pen. That is why we represent electrons of one atom with dot and another atom with cross. So another chlorine atom, it has 7 electrons too. How they are going to make bond with each other? Draw 2 circles with an area overlapping. Write down the symbol in the middle of the circle. Okay, how many electrons are less in their outermost shell?
Ma'am, just 1 electron.
1. So each one will put 1 electron on sharing. So there is the 1 electron that will go on sharing from first chlorine atom, and rest of 6 electrons, they will be drawn as it is. Now for the next one. So it has 7 electrons, 1 electron is less, so it will put 1 electron on sharing, and rest of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons, they will be out of that overlapped area, but on the circle line. Okay, that is how we have made a chlorine molecule with a single covalent bond in it, because there is only a pair of electrons that is being shared. Let's move to the double covalent bond. O2. Oxygen belongs to which group? Ahmed, a bit quick.
Yes, oxygen belongs to group 6.
Group 6. How many electrons?
6 electrons.
6 electrons in its valence shell, right?
Yes.
Both of them, they will be having 6 electrons in their valence shell. So how many electrons each one supposed to put on sharing?
2 each.
2 electrons. Excellent. Now we are going to draw the valence electrons, valence shells overlapping each other. So each one will be sharing 2 electrons. 2 electrons from this oxygen atom. And how many electrons are left? These 2 are going on sharing. How many electrons are left? 4.
6.
So
4.
the 4 electrons, they will remain out of that overlapped area. The same will be done for the next atom. It has 6 electrons. 2 will go on sharing. 1, 2, and rest of the 4 electrons on the outer margin of the circle. That is how oxygen molecule is being developed, by making a double covalent bond. We can show it by making this line. So what type of bonding is this?
This is ma'am, double covalent bond.
Double covalent bonding. Excellent. So let's discuss another type of covalent bonding that happens to be in nitrogen molecule. As you already have told me, nitrogen belongs to group 5.
Nitrogen belongs to group 5, yes.
Yes. So how many electrons it has?
It has 5 electrons.
5 electrons each, right? So each one has 5 electrons in its valence shell. So how they are going to make bond with each other? How many electrons will be there on sharing from each atom?
3 each.
Yes, 3 electrons. Again, we are making circles with an overlapped area with the symbol in the center. So these 3 electrons, they are going on bonding. 1, 2, 3. And how many electrons are left here?
2.
2. So these 2 will remain out of that overlapped area, right? So the same will be done with the next nitrogen atom. So 3 electrons, 3 crosses are on overlapped area, and 2 are out of that overlapped area. That is how the nitrogen molecule will be developed. Right?
Yes.
Any question, Ahmed?
No.
So your concepts are clear by now?
Yes, they're clear.
Okay. So that is all for today's lesson. We'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Inshallah. Thank you.